hello, one and all. I have another battle against minemaster05x, and we had a very good battle last week, and it was very, very close, so hopefully this one will be just as good, so let's go ahead and get into it. And yeah, as you can see, I'm using a bit of a different team, so is he. So it's not quite a mirror match, well, not a mirror match, it's not quite a rematch in that sense, but it should be pretty interesting to see how these teams do. So I lead with Weavile, who is a very, very strong Pokemon in OE right now, as he leads with Tyranitar. Not really what I wanted to see. I don't have any fighting moves on my Weavile, so I'm going to go ahead and switch out into my Clefable, which I hope can take a move from this thing, as he also switches out into his Scizor. So I don't know if he predicted that, but if he did, that was pretty excellent, because, yeah. Obviously, I'm going to have to switch. I don't want to take a Bullet Punch on my Clefable, so I go out into my Gastrodon, which is one of the Pokemon people requested in Friday's battle. As you guys might remember, I did request, well, some, Pokemon, to be used, and I'll try to get to most of those suggestions, but in this battle I decided to bring Gastrodon. And, yeah, he's going to go ahead and Bullet Punch me, which I do resist, which is kind of nice. He is Mega Scizor, which is definitely something that's pretty scary. I'm going to try to go for the Skull to get the burn on this thing, which would make it, pretty more or less not a problem. And he goes for the Swords Dance, and yeah, if I can get a burn on this thing might be a major problem for me, due to the fact that Swords Dance is super powerful. So he goes for a Bug Bite now. As you can see, after a single Swords Dance, I think maybe it was 2 Swords Dances, but no, I think it was just 1 Swords Dance. And it already does a ton of damage to my Gastrodon, almost killing it, and I do not get the burn off the Scald, which really does hurt. So I'm going to go on to Talonflame. I do resist both Bug Bite and Bullet Punch, and as well as Superpower, which he ends up going for, I guess, to change up his move. But yeah, I do resist that. It still does a lot, though. However, now he has reduced defense and only +1 attack, so that's not so bad. He goes out into Tyranitar now, which is a very good play. I was just going for a Brave Bird. I kind of had to, because yeah, I kind of wanted to outspeed a potential Bullet Punch, as he might have gone for that, I'm not sure. Either way, the incoming Tyranitar does resist and take it. Now, this was a lead Tyranitar, so I'm kind of almost thinking this thing probably has Stealth Rocks, so I want to just stay in, because I have no way to get rid of them on this team. Actually, it's a major problem this team has. I didn't notice when I threw it together before the battle. But, yeah, he ends up actually just using Pursuit, which, actually, that works out, because obviously that would have killed me had I tried to switch anyway, so getting the extra damage on the Tyranitar is pretty good. So I go into my Bisharp now, as he goes out into Keldeo. I was going to go for the knockoff. Obviously, it is resisted by Keldeo. Keldeo is a pretty good Bisharp counter. He does get justified, not that that matters, but the resistance matters. I do get to knock off the Choice Scarf, though, so Scarf Keldeo is no more. So, and yeah, I'm just gonna. I don't know if that's a good thing though, because not Scarf Keldeo is definitely pretty threatening in its own right, because he can actually switch moves. So I go into Gastrodon, kind of hoping that he would try to go for a Scald or a a Scald or a what's it called, Hydro Pump, so I can just absorb that. But nope. I go into Gengar now, and I do that because yeah, I think I'm just gonna try to go for a Shadow Ball. And he goes into Tyranitar. I don't know what I was predicting there, but, yeah. Shadow Ball hits the Tyranitar, and the Sandstorm stops, so that means he's going to lose his special defense boost for Rock-type, so I'm kind of confident that I can actually kill it with Shadow Ball. Not to mention, I already know it has Pursuit. As you can see, it actually outsped my Gengar, revealing that it's actually a Choice Scarf Tyranitar, so that's pretty cool. 2 Choice Scarfers on this team. Pretty gutsy. Either way, he's going to go right into Scizor now, which is a pretty strong play, and he is going to go for the Bullet Punch. I was hoping I wanted to stay in just in case he tried to set up on the switch. I didn't want to give him a free Bullet Punch. I do have the Will-O-Wisp on that Gengar, so that's what I was going for. And, yeah, that didn't really work out. So I go into my Bisharp again, and I do know that he has Superpower, and I'm hoping that he won't go for it, or hoping that I can kill him with a knockoff, and, yeah, he just goes right back into Keldeo. As you can see, knockoff still does respectable damage, despite the fact that I'm not knocking off an item here, so I'm thinking that I can kill him with a Sucker Punch. So I go for that, and I do take out the Keldeo, which is pretty excellent for me, being that it completely walls my Bisharp, and things like that. And he goes out into this Japanese thing, which is a Volcanion. And Volcanion is another scary Pokemon. I'm going to go ahead and switch out into Clefable. I don't really have a very strong out to this at this point, in fact. And yeah, he's going to get off the Steam Eruption, and it does a ton. more than I would have thought. In fact, looking at that damage, it almost certainly specs, and there's nothing really a whole lot I can do. I'm just going to let Clefable die, and I'm in a really bad position. I've been behind pretty much the whole game, and I need to find a way to get back into this thing as Clefable goes down. So I go into Weavile, and I'm hoping that Weavile can just take this thing out, and maybe survive a Steam Eruption after I knock off the the specs. And as you can see, I do knock that off as he goes for another Steam Eruption, and I do survive it thanks to it not being boosted, but just barely. Thank God it didn't burn. I just go for another knockoff since it's still my strongest move, despite the fact that he doesn't have an item. And I'm going to die to my own life orb, but I do take out that Volcanion, and now it's just, I think 1-on-3. I have Bisharp left, and he has 3 Pokemon. The good news is Bisharp does have some really strong priority in, Sucker Punch, Sucker Punch. But he has a Landorus Therian that's full health, hasn't come out yet. Now, the good thing about that is his Intimidate will work against him here because I do have Defiant, so that's going to increase my attack by 1 stage, ultimately. And I just protect here for some reason, but basically, I need to hope I can kill this thing from full health at +1, which I wasn't so confident because Landorus is a very bulky Pokemon. But there you go. There's the power of Bisharp. I guess he didn't have any bulk investment on that Landorus. I don't know what set it was. But I'm able to take it out with the Sucker Punch. And now it's just me against Scizor. I'm hoping he doesn't try to use a Swords Dance here. It really came down to a prediction. If I would have predicted Swords Dance, I obviously should have went for a knockoff or something. But thankfully, I did predict correctly that he just tried to attack me right off the bat to end this with Superpower. And yeah, I end up getting the correct prediction and killing it. And that's good game. Shows you the power of Bisharp. I think he killed 4 of his opponent's Pokemon, came back for me there, so that's pretty awesome. I know I've asked this question before, but it has been a little while. What is your favorite Pokemon spin-off game? Is it not a main series Pokemon game? As for me, I would have to probably still answer Pokemon Conquest, which is a nifty little tactical RPG for the regular DS. I think it's for the regular DS. But it actually was a cross between a Japanese franchise, Nobunaga's Revenge, I think, and Pokemon, but it ended up being pretty good. Despite its simplistic tactical RPG elements, I really did enjoy it. I'm sure a lot of you will say Pokemon Go, but we shall see. We shall see. Leave a comment about that and see you guys again next time. Later.